Hello, I'm Jan Angel, your 26th District State Representative, and thank you for joining me on Legislative Update. Last year, a bill was proposed in the Senate that created a huge uproar with the public, and justifiably so. Senate Bill 6900 sought to place a carbon emissions tax on vehicles right here in Washington. The measure proposed taxes of up to $600 a year, depending on the size of your car engine. Proponents said it would provide a cleaner environment. That's doublespeak for social engineering to get you out of your car while the government cleans your pocketbook. The measure never got a hearing and it died. Even this year, however, my office is still getting calls about Senate Bill 6900. Unfortunately, the proponents of that bill are back this year with new legislation that is much worse. If you didn't like Senate Bill 6900, you're going to hate House Bill 1490. This is a measure in the Local Government and Housing Committee, which I sit on. It proposes sweeping land use and transportation planning changes to the state's Growth Management Act to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. First, you need to know that Washington is already one of the cleanest states in the nation. Our global carbon output in this state is only 0.3%. Now, if you put that information into perspective, that's like a pebble of sand on an entire beach. So it's minuscule. If this bill passes, I'm concerned that it will alter the quality of life for the people right here in Washington like they've never experienced before. This measure seeks to reduce vehicle miles traveled. You will be asked to get out of your car because you won't be able to afford to drive it or maybe even own it. The goal is to make it so expensive that you drive that you'll have to use mass transit, like buses, for example. Proponents want you to be in a bus, and do you want to be in a bus going for groceries, to get groceries for your family, to take your children to soccer practice? This isn't responsible. And right here, if you drive, it's going to cost you. It will put a huge burden on local government, which will be required to track the impact of this measure. And honestly, I don't know how they would do that. It will be a massive burden to Washington citizens with all of the regulations that this bill contains. And more important, it's simply not needed. Washington has a minuscule carbon footprint, and this legislation will not change a thing to help our environment. In fact, this is not about environment, it's about government control. And that's why I plan to fight this as hard as possible. Please share this information with your friends and your neighbors and ask them to get involved. It's very important that you do. We cannot let government take over our lives with this type of legislation. And now I'd like to introduce you to someone very special. This is Ellie Harkson from Gig Harbor, and she's serving this week as my page. Hello, Ellie.
Hi.
We're very happy to have you with us today. Ellie is a 14-year-old student at Lighthouse Christian School. She's helping me this week in the legislature. Ellie's also learning about our processes here, and she's attended Page School. Now, Ellie, of the things you have done, what have you enjoyed the most?
I've really loved just making new friends, and at Page School it's lots of fun because we got to write our own bill, and today we worked on getting it passed in a real hearing room, and yeah, it's just been lots of fun, and I know the campus inside out and backwards, and I've just had a really good time here.
Well, we're really happy to have Ellie with us, and one of the things, Ellie's on her way to Washington, D.C. with her 8th grade class, and being in Olympia has prepared her well for what she's going to be experiencing there. Now, if you know someone who is between the ages of 14 and 16 and would like to serve as a page with us, please have them call my office, 360-786-7964, toll free 1-800-562-6000, and here in Olympia, P.O. Box 40600, right here in Olympia, Washington. And thank you for joining me today on Legislative Update. I'm State Representative Jan Angel.